With your CIGTV News update this Thursday, I'm Donna Bush. Real estate agents and brokers and dealers in precious metals and stones are part of two workshops organized by the Department of Commerce and Investment. The goal of the workshops is to assist participants with government's mandatory registration process. Minister for Commerce and Investment, the Honorable Joseph Hughes, spoke at the workshops.
We have implemented rules and regulations to deal with this, and there is a registration process for all DNFBPs or non-financial aspects of the report to register by the 29th of this month, which is only 20 days away. So we're here today with the workshop to encourage persons to register, to assist persons if they have any questions or in the actual registration, but to also assist persons in setting up their own regimes within their businesses so that they're not taken advantage of or become unintentionally a part of anti-terrorism financing or money laundering. It's extremely important that we register the DNFBPs. This is part of a larger registration process, but this today has to do with the precious metal dealers, the real estate agents, the non-financial aspect of the report. But if we do not get persons registered, if the country does not become compliant, then we run the risk of becoming blacklisted, and that, of course, is not an option for us.
And the Anti-Money Laundering Regulations 2018 revision, which were amended in March of 2018, requires them to register as part of Cayman's compliance regime in line with global standards that are addressed or assessed by the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force. Now, workshop participants learned the key issues and challenges for agents and dealers, as outlined in the mutual evaluation report of Cayman's regime for anti-money laundering, countering the financing of terrorism and proliferation financing, the sector's risk assessment, as well as how to set up their compliance regime, as mentioned by the minister. Well, with just 22 days left to the start of the 2019 hurricane season, the Department of Children and Family Services is looking for shelter volunteers should a storm head our way. The DCFS, in partnership with the Hazard Management Cayman Islands office, is holding training sessions on Monday the 27th and Tuesday the 28th of May.
The shelter takes a team of persons to be able to manage in the event of a disaster. We need persons who can be flexible, think outside of the box. You're going to have varying scenarios and circumstances of persons to deal with. You'll have a diverse population within each shelter. So persons with varying skill levels are favorable, but we just need persons who want to come out and help their community, persons who are responsible, and persons who are dependable. Training is provided to meet safety and the human needs of the shelterees. It covers personal preparedness and disaster planning for the shelter management team. So you will have to be able to have your personal preparedness and your disaster plan for your family in place before you can come in to the shelter. So we talk about helping persons make their own disaster plan. It also includes information on the National Disaster Program. HMCI will be there as well to assist with providing in particular information on the National Disaster Program. It will also cover information on the shelters available to the public in the Cayman Islands, in particular Grand Cayman, the shelter operations and management, which includes who are the shelter management team, persons like the police, persons like Red Cross, and other community organizations who will also be part of the shelter management team. It covers the particular skills required to open and close a shelter. It covers the administration. That includes pre and post checks of the shelter, opening and closing. It covers registration of the shelterees, which is a very important part of having persons come into the shelter.
DCFS plans on training approximately 100 volunteers, as the number will ensure there's an adequate pool of volunteers to draw from to assist with shelter operations in the event a hurricane comes our way during the 6-month-long season. Now, if you're interested in volunteering for hurricane shelter training, you must sign up on or before Friday, the 17th of May. You can do so by calling 949-0290 or emailing dcfs.smt at gov.ky. Well, this year's Child Month awardees, Tian Scott and Julia Smith, were awarded or announced during the Department of Children and Family Services Child Month church service that happened last Sunday. 11-year-old Tian currently attends the Lighthouse School, while 16-year-old Julius is a former student. This year's Child Month theme is Be Strong, Be Brave, Be You. The service referenced both the 2019 theme and the church's chosen theme for the morning, Juggling Lives Priorities. Now, Sunday's Child Month service, led by Senior Pastor Steve Brady at the First Baptist Church, attracted a large congregation, including His Excellency the Governor, Mr. Martin Roper, Deputy Governor, the Honorable Franz Manderson, Acting Minister for Community Affairs, the Honorable Austin Harris, Georgetown Central MLA Kenneth Bryan, the Minister's Chief Officer Teresa Inchiniki, and DCFS Director Paulinda Mendoza-Williams. Now, the church's regular congregation, members of the public, as well as representatives of DCFS partner agencies also attended. We say congratulations to both Tian Scott and Julius Smith. Well, for a look at all of our programming here on CIGTV, you can go online to gis.gov.ky. If you missed today's news update, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page or the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining us and hoping I'll see you back here again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye for now.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman's boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!